Okay, so this one was easy. This was basically killing two birds with one stone, if you will. Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for RuPaul's Drag Race. It's season 13, episode 6. As I said, in this episode, they killed two birds with one stone. This was messages and an eye-opener for people who may not know really about the show part of this whole competition thing. There is a show that is actually being done. There is, I hate to say it like that, but a script, if you will, that we follow. Even with this, there's a script and there's pieces to the puzzle that have to fit a certain type of way. And that's all I'm going to say about that for now. Let's talk. Anyway, so here we go. Episode 6. Kandi and Tamisha, still more the same. They talked about the untucked part of it. They were saying, are we still battling? What are we doing? These bitches they messy. So they like, are we still battling or what's going on? And basically it's, Tamisha still, her stance was still, I said what I said. Kandi's still, listen, I don't feel like I'm arrogant. It is what it is, blah, blah, blah. So I said, okay, we back to square one. Basically, that's it. Bitch, I said what I said, and the pageant has begun. That's it. And that was that. It was, don't speak to me. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. Just be here and do what you got to do, and I'm going to do what I got to do. And she's like, I'm a grown-ass woman. You got to tell me that. I already knew that, and that's where we was. Grow the pageant and started. I was like, back to square one. Anyway, moving on, mini challenge. And then it's a pair up. See, we're going to pair up. I said, oh, Lord. So we pairing up, and then whoever you pair up with for the mini challenge, you're going to keep that person for the maxi challenge as well. So it was like, all right, let's go. Here we go. So the pairs went as such. They got to pick their own pairs. Okay. And then Gottmik, since she had won the week before, she gets to pick where she wants to go because there'd be one pair that actually was a trio. So go figure. Gottmik and Kandi and Tina all end up together naturally. And they actually did coin themselves this week, the Mean Girls. They coined themselves that, called themselves that. I said, oh, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So, at any rate, Tamisha and Elliot ended up being together, and that was because everybody else picked everybody else, and the two of them just ended up like, well, damn. And I said, well, this is cute. Especially when Bruce started talking about it was all about disco and all of this kind of carrying on. I said, well, they both were dancers, so y'all screwed yourself up, didn't y'all? So that was good. So we got Tamisha and Elliot, Gottmik, Kandi, and Tina, Rose and Denali, two dancers, Olivia and Utica. I was like, ooh, I don't know what's going to go on there. Lala and Simone, two black girls. I said, child, they'll be fine. So, and disco, yeah, two black girls, they'll be fine. Anyway, so the mini challenge was this whole little thing about a wallpaper. It was a dress made from wallpaper. One of them had to put the dress on, and the other one would give the commentary. And, corny, the corny, you RuPaul stuff. I ain't going through all that. But the funny thing was Olivia and Utica. And Utica is such a clown. Because there was a background, the backdrop was like this wallpaper that matched the dress. Child, Utica done walked off from the wallpaper and was just being weird and walking around the room. Funny. She was funny, just crazy. And Bru literally looked and was like, Okay, and the girls was like, where's she going, honey? And we're gonna say this bitch is crazy. she absolutely is. She is out of her goddamn mind. But she's funny. Not disrespectful, but just funny. She's just funny. Um, and then Lala and Simone went to get the child. Lala just naked. Just naked. She just a little piece of this, little piece of this girl. She don't mind being naked with her big old self, honey. Big old tall self, honey. Just naked. I said, and that's the two of them, honey. Them two little dark skinned queens, honey. They both don't mind being naked. I said, okay, you girls. But they both of them got some beautiful, beautiful skin. That damn Simone, you know, Simone get greased up like a chicken wing, girl, get ready to go in the fryer. And that bitch got beautiful black skin. And Lala's skin, too, is just like, both of them, they look like chocolate candy bars. Them two whores, honey. So, just naked. But I was laughing at them. It was all right. It was cool. Let's move on, child. I'm trying to think who even won that challenge, child. I don't even remember. I don't even remember who won the damn challenge. Was it? Who won that damn challenge? I don't even remember who won that challenge, you all. I told you it was some corny shit to me. I don't even remember who won it. But it didn't make no difference. They got $2,500 gift card to some. I can't remember who actually won that challenge. And I didn't write it down. Bad reviewer. Whatever. It is what it. The mini challenges, child. See, if the mini, for me, if the mini challenge doesn't lead to something else, give a shit. Give a shit. And it didn't lead, like usually the mini challenge, you'll remember who won because they get to pick something in the next thing coming up. With this, they just won the $2,500 and it didn't have shit to do with shit. And it, give a shit. Moving on. Y'all leave it in the comments. If that bothered you real bad, leave it in the comments and I'll tell you now. I apologize, but I really don't give a shit. I don't give a shit who really won the challenge. And that's why I didn't write it down because it didn't lead to anything. I ain't going shopping with the hoe. Anyway, moving on. Shady. Anyway, the shade has been thrown. I ain't going shop with the hoe, so I don't really care. Anyway, moving on. Maxi Challenge. They're doing disco documentary. And I have to say, y'all know I can't stand all these little corny documentaries. These little rumentaries, honey, they be so corny. They be so corny. But this one, I really enjoy. Y'all know I love disco and house music. So they went through the history of disco and it was done really, really good. And it was really, really cute. It really was cute. Yeah, I enjoyed this one. But anyway, so Ru come down, talk to the girls. Naturally, Kandi, clueless. Kandi doesn't know her history at all. So what you might want to do, sis, instead of all this beefing and yelling and screaming that you do all the time, try to figure out where it is we all came from and what it is that we're actually doing other than singing a song, grabbing tips, and arguing with other bitches. Try to figure that out, Miss Kandi. It would definitely help you going forward, especially when you get through with the competition and you're going out and you have to talk to people. You need to know what the hell you're talking about. And sis, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. You don't know shit about shit. Ru said something. This hoe didn't know Diana Ross from Dawn of Summer, and then she just ignorant. When they said, well, girl, she's like, oh, I know. Girl, the one got like, she ain't say it to Ru. She went to Ru left. Because Ru would have got her ass together. But she said, one of them got that puffy hair, and the other one is just dead. Bitch, are you okay? Miss Kandi, you're making it increasingly difficult to like you. I'm just saying. Increasingly difficult. One has puffy hair and the other one's just dead. Miss Kandi. Anyway, girl, she's just too slow to be arrogant. She's just stupid. Anyway, moving on. Then we find out Tamisha actually has, because I kept saying, I was wondering about this dancing in this with her. She has a ostomy bag on her stomach. So she has a little ostomy bag thing going on. I said, okay, all right. I get it. I get it. Now, I became worried because this is going to be, girl, how is you doing all this, honey? How are you doing? And she was saying that the contestants didn't know. Now I know Ru and them know because I've auditioned and I've gone through the paperwork and all that multiple times. They know all your health stuff and all your, that type of stuff. They are aware. You have to make them aware of all that stuff. Girl, how are you doing all this? And then this again just put into the pot another reason why I love RuPaul, honey. Miss Ru, you are that bitch, honey. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. People, I get into little arguments with people about Mama Ru all the time, honey. When people talk about what she do, what she don't do, and how she do things. And y'all shut up, honey. Y'all shut up talking about Miss Ru, honey. Anyway, but I was like, all right, cool. Then we talked about Olivia. And I still love my Tamisha, honey, and it made me love Tamisha even more because, again, not making excuses, not using her illnesses as a crutch or nothing. She literally is powering through and fighting. And again, I'm a cancer survivor as well. I didn't have any of that because my cancer was up top. It wasn't in my lower extremities or anything. But I know how difficult all of that, the treatments and all, been there, done that. She got a lot going on. Y'all could just believe that. I ain't gonna go all into the particulars of it. She has a lot going on. And when it comes to, there's the things that you all know. We know about, chemotherapy and radiation and all of that. But what you don't always know about or hear about is the fatigue and different things like that. Everybody knows when you're going through chemo, you get sick. But no, like for years after that, you literally go through problems with fatigue and girl, you talking about somebody getting tired. You just get tired all of a sudden, bitch, and then and you just be out. And I don't mean just out like sleep, bitch. You just be out. You just ain't a factor no more. And that goes on for quite a long time after you are done, honey. And I'm 5 years out at this point. Bitch, that fatigue is a mess. That was like really, I think of everything is the thing that I hated the most. Bitch, I would just bitch. I wake up, child, I'll be like, child, what is it? When is it, honey? You be out. And I was one that wouldn't sit down. Like, I'm like, I ain't sick, child. I'm fine, child. See, I got a little something going on. And I'll be doing what I'm trying to do, what I'm doing, writing or making videos or doing what I was doing. But see, I'm soapboxing. But that's it. But I have a whole chronicle. I chronicled a lot of my journey on my YouTube channel. If you didn't see it, go see it. It's under Cancer Chronicles. But listen, I did whatever I could do, as much of it as I could do, and I would never just give in and just be laying around because it just ain't me. But that fatigue is not a joke, trust me. So all this that she doing to me, you a bad sister. But anyway, going on. So Olivia, we found out that Olivia was actually, when she was in high school, this girl was over 300 pounds. Over 300 pounds. And she told the story, of the bullying and then her finding music and being a part of the band and all these things. And that's how she kind of got out of it. And then she started with drag and she lost the weight. She lost her weight naturally. And that's why I said, that's why she looks so great. Like she didn't go through any surgeries or anything. So I said, girl, you are to be commended because Miss Olivia's built bad. Miss Olivia's built down. I said, girl, yes, ma'am. Because they did they had a challenge. The little black dress was the runway challenge. And baby. Miss Olivia, girl, yes, yes, bitch. And she lost her weight naturally, and she just did like, diet plans and changing of eating styles and all of that stuff. And she really came down. And I'm like, girl, kudos to you, girl. Because it was becoming a problem in her life. You know what I mean? So that was, hey, listen, go ahead. But yeah, and I'll talk more about Miss Olivia as we go forth. Anyway, so let's go to the documentary. They start the documentary. Child, I'm just going to point out some things that I saw in the documentary, and that's it. I ain't going to go through what the documentary was. You have to watch the show for that. Like I said, it was the history of disco, okay? Child, Miss Tina Burner, girl, she looked a mess to me, and that she had like a nod to the RuPaul fringe Bob Mackie little outfit that's on the RuPaul doll. Child, it looked a mess on Miss Tina. I said, and it wasn't Bob Mackie, but it was, one similar. It was pretty. It was pretty. It was done real well. Had just the right amount of fringe and all. It was cute, but it didn't do shit for her. Because, she's a big bitch. She's big, she's tall, and she ain't shapely. She's not shapely like Ru. And them fringes didn't do her any favors, baby. She just looked like a piece of Italian sausage. I said, it was like Italian sausage with fringe wrapped around it and shoes, honey. I said, that dress didn't do her no favors. And then I'm looking at Ru and them talking, they loved it. Y'all lying. Y'all lying. Quit playing. And I was like, now here we go. Because Michelle, girl, see that wig is squeezing your head too tight. Because usually you always fuss about a bitch's shit not being cinched. And she wasn't cinched or nothing. It was just, it didn't look good at all. It was not flattering whatsoever. Now, when Miss Tina puts on like her latex pieces and stuff, you could see her being cinched in and stuff. But them fringes, they did her no favors, honey. And she definitely wasn't doing the dress no favors. I said, girl. And then what made it even worse, bitch, is that Olivia came out with a similar situation on, bitch, and was sickening, honey. I said, oh! That was the worst part. If she was the only one with one of them little dance numbers on like that, that would have been fat. Baby, Miss Olivia came out and hers was dipped all the way down. She had her a titty painted and was sickening. I said, Miss Tina, girl, she just let you have it. She just let you have it, bitch. I was like, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. And she was stiff, as far as I was concerned. She was stiff. The whole group, all three of them, Kandi, Gottmik, and goddamn Tina, they was stiff. I was like, y'all go ahead, honey. They was giving very dancing, yeah. I'm like, no, girl. That's not the disco we want, honey. We want, ooh, that's what we want, honey. We don't want, so they was stiff. Anyway, moving on. Now with Tamisha, girl, I seen worry in your face. I know you wasn't lost on the dance steps, bitch, because I know you know how to pick up choreography and all that. So I know you weren't worried about the choreography, but I seen where I don't know if it was about the stepping, about what you were doing, about I don't know what it was. But again, remember, she even went through a whole period where she couldn't walk. So I told you all how long it took me to become comfortable back in my heels and stuff. And you got her up here dancing and carrying on. But I saw the worry and the displacement in her face. I seen it and I knew they seen it. Because for them to show where I seen it, they definitely seen it. I said, okay. I said, that's going to come back on her later. Anyway, Utica shocked me. Because I thought Utica and Olivia turned it out. I thought they were really good. Of course, Utica was in character. You know, she was clowning and doing her thing. But they was getting it. I enjoyed them. And Lala, Miss Lala Ray, yes, ma'am. Lala was getting down, honey. And she had, her outfit was cute, sequins. She had the thigh boots, had her hair in a ponytail. It was very She was very Darcel from Solid Gold, honey. Solid Gold, filling up my life with Muse. Pow! I said, yes, Miss Lala. Miss Lala gave you disco, honey. So I was here for it. Miss Simone, you faded into the background for me this time. But Miss Lala Ree gave us the Lala Ree experience, honey. She gave me everything I needed. I said, yes, Lala. Honey, I was like, yeah, girl. So Lala and Olivia, hands down. And Rose was getting down. Baby, I see you, Miss Rose. See, I'm going to tell y'all, honestly, throughout the competition, Rose has been the one fading for me. Like, she's been fading into the background for me. I'm like, what's this hoe? And I'm going to tell you, when we were doing these reviews, I'll be looking down at my paper because I always forget Rose's name. Like, she's been fading away from it. That goddamn Rose was getting down on this challenge. I was like, come on through, Miss Rose. I'm here for it. She was good. She was really, really good. So I enjoyed Rose. I really did. I enjoyed you, Rose chick. So for me, these are the ones that stood out. Rose, Lala, Olivia, and Utica all stood out for me in this documentary. They were good to me. On the runway. The runway was just like a simple black dress. A little black dress. You know, a lot of camp. You know, they did a lot of little camp thing. You know what they did. So they did that. Gottmik, let me get you together real quick, sis. Since Ru and them is acting stupid and they're playing this little game, Ru, you too, girl, pay attention, girl. I'm talking to you too. Ru and Michelle, both of you two. You two are quick to tell a bitch, don't depend on that body. Stop relying on that body. So why is it different for Gottmik? Because she's a trans man? We ain't giving out no special preferential treatment for nobody. And I know part of her story is how she loves her body and all that. So look, let's make this the last week, okay? Stop depending on your body. I'm a little sick of it personally because, one, we're giving her an excuse and we're giving her a leeway where we wouldn't give that to anybody else. All this, I'm sick of her naked ass. I am sick of looking at Gottmik's naked ass. And it definitely is like, I'm not impressed. You were born a woman. You were born a woman, sis. I ain't impressed. Yes, your frame is tiny because your bone structure is tiny. Even though you are a trans man, you still have this little bone structure. And yes, you look soft. Yes, you look soft naked. Because you're supposed to look soft naked. See, this is where the flip-floppy thing takes place. It's weird. Even with when you deal with a trans woman versus a drag queen in this type of situation. Of course you look soft without your clothes on because you are taking hormones and you're on hormone therapy and it's your bone structure don't change, but their skin and stuff naturally because you're going through transition. So that's where I think in the beginning of this, trans girls weren't brought in, but even in the pageant world, we have, you know, it's like you just got to go with that. But this thing with Gottmik, and it's like, it's cool. It's cool. But like we on it every week. Every week, we 6 weeks in, every week Gottmik's ass is naked. And we're talking her body and how great. She's a trans man. Stop. Stop playing. And it's good. It's cool. Love it. I'm glad that you're comfortable. Now I've seen enough of it. Don't keep relying on your body and y'all keep talking about she turning it out. Because she really ain't turning it out. She's just fucking getting naked. She ain't turning out shit. When she's dressed, she turns it. Her fashion sense is everything. Her creativity is everything. But the last 2 weeks, y'all was giving her grace and she ain't do shit. Little black dress. She literally put a baby doll dress, taped it to her crotch, and taped a bow on her ass crack and y'all talking about that's great. No, that's naked. Last week, it was fabric triangles stuck to her chest, cover her crotch, and down her leg, and now all of a sudden that's a fashion statement. No, it ain't. It's just naked. So, listen, this week is the last week for Gottmik's naked ass. Period. Period. And if it ain't, I'm going to be reading. So, y'all just get ready. And it ain't nothing against the trans community. Y'all know I love y'all. But it is what it is. We're going to do what we're going to do. It is what it is. We're going to do what we're going to do. Michelle, you always tell the girls stop doing that. Y'all told Joey J to stop not wearing wigs. Joey J was sharp without her wig on. And the first time she put a wig on, she looked a mess and got sent home. So this bitch got to stop being naked. Just like you tell people to stop wearing green, all because you don't like green. Well, I don't want to see her naked ass no more. I'm tired of it now. It's gotten old. Okay, we know you look cute without your clothes on. Girl, this is not a strip show. Bye, girl. Bye, girl, bye. Cut it out. So, anyway, cut it out. Moving on. Okay, so, down off my soapbox. But boom, bam, and I'm back. Let's go. All right. So, Elliot and Tamisha, both of them dresses, nice dresses, but they were just black dresses. Olivia too, it was just old black strapless dress. But girl, you know, once you gave your story about you being 300 pounds and then, bitch, you was done, bitch, your body is everything, bitch, you look great. But again, in lieu of, and what the category is, little black dress, girl, I wasn't impressed. Yeah. Utica, enough is enough with you too. Too much concept. Too much concept. What you did was perfect for the Andy Warhol Museum. But too much. It needed explanation, which means it was a fail. If you got to go and explain, oh no, it's this, I was my earring. Girl, fuck all that. Too much. Too much concept. That belongs in the Andy Warhol Theater or Andy Warhol Museum. For this, it was a mess. Now, overall, with everything, Simone, for me, turned the little black dress out. It was a hair dress, and her own hair was throwback to Rue's Back to My Roots video. As soon as I seen it, I knew what I was like, back to my roots. As soon as she walked out, before they even said it, I was, you know, I've been around that long time. I was like, come on through here, Miss Simone. And you know, that's what I fell in love with Miss Simone from the trailers, was her hair. That bitch's hair, she had this hair thing going on, which was everything, is what made me really like Simone. In the beginning, before the show even started, what we'd seen like Meet the Queens. So I was here for it, and the bitch was, poo. The little dress she had was made out of braids. It was actual braids, honey. I said, come on, girl. It was an old fringe look. It was everything. It was everything. And baby, like I told y'all, she was naked. She was naked. She was naked. Now, Miss Simone, girl, don't be relying on that body, girl. But what she did was everything. It was everything. So that was that. So I loved Simone's look the most out of everybody's. Anyway, Olivia won overall this week. And I get it. Olivia is disco. Olivia embodies everything that disco is and that disco was. Disco was a feel-good time, a feel-good music, a feel-good vibe, and Olivia is a feel-good bitch. She just is. When you look at her, her smiles, just like Utica, just lights up the room. It really, really does. It just lights up the room. Again, and the judges told Utica too, girl, you getting too campy. I said, you know, when Rue and Carson tell you that you are too campy, girl, you need to cut it out. Because both of them is corn balls, honey. But when they tell you, girl, it's too much, It's way too much, girl. You up there with Lady Bunny at this point now. Cut it out. Anyway, so yeah, Olivia really does. She is disco. She's disco. And they were talking about her hair. That bitch's hair was the shit. She had taken a turn her hair, child, for the documentary, and she had this real big, pretty, curly mop on her head for the little black dress. The hair was everything. It was big, honey. Big disco. Which way, honey? Big hair, honey. Sharp. Anyway, moving on. So, in the bottom was Big Girl Kandi and Tamisha. Now, Miss Kandi, I wasn't impressed. I was like, okay. What was she had on? All right, girl. I see the concept you was going for. They did Hit 'em Up style, Blue Cantrell. This is where the bullshit part of the show takes place, if you will. And yeah, I called it that. The bullshit part of the show. Kandi sent Tamisha home. Okay? This don't give you any extra points, Kandi. So don't put it in your wheelhouse that you turned it. You didn't turn it out. You didn't turn it out. First of all, Hit 'em Up style is a boring. It's a boring lip sync. Period. Unless you do it in a bar. When you do it in a bar, a black bar, you gotta go do it at a black bar. And the kids go up, and it's more so the crowd that makes the song. It don't be us that make the song. It's the crowd, because it was a hot hit amongst the black folks. So when you do it in a black club, it hits different. Trust me on that. Well, child, if you pull out Blue Cantrell in a black bar, baby, you will make a coin. I can only tell you that because I know. And it really has to do with it being in the black bar, and them child of folks be like, oh, that used to be my goddamn jam, because it was at the cookouts, in the black area. You do it in a white bar, girl, they're just gonna be looking at you like we was looking at them on the TV. It's a boring lip sync, okay? I ain't got no real highs and real lows. There's a lot of vocal acrobatics that you can really play with if you're a good lip syncer. Lip sync assassin from Pittsburgh over here. So you can play with all that, and all of those things work really well with a black crowd. And a white crowd, they just kind of look at you. But in a black crowd, it works. So I've said it. That is what it is. Anybody can test me if they want, or challenge me, or ask questions if you want. I know what I'm talking about. 20 plus years in the business. I know what I'm talking about. And especially with that song, it's part of my wheelhouse. But whatever. Anyway, so, and tell me, y'all were watching the show. Wasn't you bored watching that lip sync? Your ass was bored, weren't you? Because I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, so they were doing it, and Kandi was trying to do her thing, and I'm just looking at her, and I'm like, you see when she fell down on that floor? And she fell down on that floor, girl. I said, girl, that wasn't graceful. And then she could hardly get up. I said, girl, you must be cinched to the gauze up underneath that goofy dress. She's like, I said, oh, girl. But there was definitely limitations about what Tamisha could do. And I saw right for myself right now, we're killing two birds with one stone here. We're sending Tamisha home because she's gone as far as she can go in the competition physically. Physically, I believe she's gone as far, because it's going to get tough. It's going to get more tough and more vigorous going forth. And it ain't worth it. It ain't worth it. Ru gave her just enough for what it was that she needed. She passed the audition. She made her way onto the show. And then she even said it, you know, it's not even about winning all competitions. You can't win all competitions. You know, every competition, you ain't supposed to win it. You win it. Sometimes you just got to show up. And RuPaul's Drag Race is very much that way. Every bitch that ever gets the call and say, bitch, you made it through the audition process and you're going to be on the show, every last one of them whores won. I wouldn't give a damn if they went home first, second, last, one. Every last one of them is a winner, and it changes your life completely. RuPaul's Drag Race is definitely a place where winning is nice, but it don't really matter. All you need to do is show up for the gig. Let me up in this gig. And you won. You already won. And Tamisha knows that. And Ru knows that. So, we don't have to harm you and make you try to go where you can't go because we all know what's in store. The dancing is going to get more vigorous. The lip sync for your life stuff is going to get tougher. The songs are going to become more. It's just going to become more. And you all know that. We've been watching. She's gone as far as she can go in the competition physically. But she got what she needed out of this. Just look. Just look around. Tamisha got a YouTube channel now, and she's doing her own show. And she got what she was supposed to get. Ru made sure she was available to get it. And I thought that was really cool. Because they could have very well, she was chosen the year before. They could have very well just been like, oh, girl, you can't come? Okay, move on to the next bitch. They didn't. They said, bitch, heal up. We'll put you on next season. Boom. Like I told y'all. 5 months, I did 5.5 months of chemo and all of that stuff. 5 years. And I'm just really back to like myself from before. And there's still some issues, you know what I mean? So they could have threw her away and just didn't worry about it. And they didn't. So hats off to Ru. Hats off to Tamisha for being smart and going about it smart and getting what she needed to do what she needs to do for herself. And Tamisha Iman is going to be just fat. First of all, she was Tamisha Iman before she even got here. Okay? Now she is Tamisha Iman. And like the bitch told y'all when they wrapped it up, she said, honey, I'm just getting myself back together and get prepared. So whenever the call for All Stars comes, a bitch will be ready. I said, yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. And we'll be ready for you. We'll be sitting right here waiting, queen. Waiting on you, bitch. I'm still team Tamisha Iman, baby. And we'll be sitting right here waiting on you. Now, but the thing where I say 2 birds with 1 stone, they cleaned up Kandi. Because they definitely didn't want Tamisha to leave and everybody to be hating Kandi so much. Did you see? They broke Kandi. They broke her. She broke out crying and all of that because she got that taste of, oh shit, I'm in the bottom. See, this is the production part of the program. This is what we do to stir the viewer. You know, they manipulate us throughout the competition. Everything happens for a reason. You know, there's a production that's being done. This is a show. So they broke Kandi. And they released Tamisha. Tamisha got everything she needed and everything that she could and gave all that she could give to the show at that time. And they sent her on home. Unharmed, ready for the next part of the journey. That bitch told y'all, I'll see you out on a tour. Boom. Win. Winning. And Kandi, they cleaned her up, honey. Cleaned her up so that people don't hate her. They don't hate her, you know. And it's like, oh, that got solved. The sisterhood is intact. They ain't battling and fussing with each other. She went out, hugged her. She told her, I'm so sorry. You know, I'm so sorry. And she told her girl, no tea. I'll see you on the road, bitch. Everything's fixed. And everybody don't hate Kandi. 2 birds, 1 stone. Welcome to RuPaul's Drag Race. See y'all next week.